The next is the allegretto in C. You have a difficulty for the A plus section. It's okay. But this week, just make sure you A and the B, you can do it really good. Because if you cannot make it this section, last line, right, you still can replace with A when you're doing performance. So don't feel you have big pressure. Just work on A and B, make sure it's pretty good. Right now, today, I'm gonna show you how to do the last part. Okay, remember I told you I only want you to do what? The left hand first. For this part, you have to make sure you practice the right hand, left hand a couple more times, hand separately. And left hand first, because that's new, right? Before, the old one is easy. So the left hand is the what? Upper D bass is the, I told you when we having a lesson, the major one is a bracket chord, is a C, E, G. But when you do the upper D bass, you can tell it's the same note, exactly the same note. It just played brokenly, separately. See, C, E, G. But the shape is bottom note, top note, middle note, top note. And you can see here is D, F, G for the second measure. And here, the same part is D, F, G. So it's bottom, top, middle, top. So if you don't know how to do that, think about the A that you did really good. You played right? And that's first chord. And the first chord, you just need to separate the order. It's bottom, top, middle, top. And next one is D, F, G, is bottom, top, middle, top. So that's exactly the same note like you do for the A section. So let me go through that. So you can see exactly the same. C chord, B, F, G. C chord, B, F, G. C chord again, and here emerging to the beginning. So exactly the same thing at the end. But you can tell it's just like a variation. You have all the hand position here right now. So let's practice that together. So C chord, bottom, top, middle, top, bottom, top, middle, top, bottom, top, middle, top, bottom, top, middle, top, bottom, top, middle, top. Okay, the last one that has a different fingering. So I think this is the one you have a little bit challenging here. So just practice this for C, G, finger 4. Couple more time. Only this part. Until you remember how that muscle moving, how that finger moving. Okay? So this is the left hand's part. And then and I think right hand, you already know how to do it. So right now we have to make hands together now. How? Measure by measure. If you cannot make it right for one measure, just stay in that measure. So for example, the first one is, so if you cannot match, you will play middle note first. It's okay. Just keep repeating that measure until you feel that pattern. And then you move to the next measure. Okay? So think about that. You already know how to do your right hand. You just need to focus more to what? To your left hand's position. Right hand, you already know that. It's da, do, do, si, right? So remember that and then try to make it together. Don't worry about the tempo first. Just make sure you match it first. Top, middle. Okay, when this two you're fine now. Next day, you can pick up the next two measure. Switch finger. this is a section. Just practice that 2 measure until you get used to it. So don't try to play beginning to the end, beginning to the end. It has to be break it down as a little section so your muscle will do the correct muscle memory. So let's do one more time. Slower. Think about top note and the middle note with which note for the right hand. Okay, and you get the position and then you make the tempo. Correct now and move to the next measure. So it's a C, switch finger and take it up, C sharp, D, right? That's the right hand. And that's adding the right hand and left hand together. So same thing, bottom, top, middle, top. So, and then what? Your finger 1 has to play the C and you have to use your middle finger for the E. Top, take up, is a B chord. So open your hand, look again. Switch to right hand and take it up. What did I do? I'm stretching to prepare my B. And top note, middle is F. See how slow I do? Because I have to know what I'm doing. You have to know what you're doing. So take your time. Don't rush up to play. Rush up, play it the notes like 10,000 times. You have to stop, think how to move first. And when you get used to it, it will be really easy to adjust the correct tempo. And let's go to the last. This one is a harder one. The same thing. Try to play finger 3 to E. I told you we switch here already. See that? 3. Because then you don't need to move the finger again. You can focus on your left hand. So left hand part is C, G, but E, switch finger, G, F. Why not? Why you switching? Because if I make my G on here, I won't have the finger 1 to play A. So the fingering is C, G, F, 4. 2, G. Okay, and the right hand is only finger 3 on the E, so you don't need to play 4. C sharp, D, and move to finger 3 to finger 3 to E. So let me combine together. Tie it up and switch. Here you know how to do it already. So see how slow I'm processing the thinking, because that's a lot of hand position moving. So if you not think carefully, usually you will hit the wrong key or you will hit the wrong notes because you use the correct finger, but you don't know how far, how close you need to do it. Okay, so that's a really detailed explanation for the last section. Let's go back to the first section, A and the B. I believe you already really knowing that already. So let me make another video. Just make sure the time's not too long.